you. You're tuned in to the Skirts Up Show with Samantha and Melissa.
Join our mission to normalize failure, but still uncover the positives at every twist and turn.
Skirts up, but keep your panties on. What's up, Skirts Up Squad? It is Samantha and...
Simon.
Simon who?
Simon Mandell, your lovely husband.
Oh, that's right. For the first time ever joining us and probably listening to anything that I have to say.
It's very, very distinct possibility.
So, we are in the car. We just had a date night. We just went out and had dinner while my sister watched the kiddos. And I had not even half of a margarita. But I still had a margarita.
And I didn't drink.
He didn't. It's wild.
Go me.
Go, Simon. Oh, but it did take us a little bit to record because one of us, you guys know who, is not wearing a seatbelt. So there was that obnoxious like bling, bling, bling. And I was like, you're going to have to put your seatbelt on for this. And he goes, no, it'll turn off.
Just gonna tell my business to everyone.
You think they don't already know?
So, yeah, okay.
What do you think we're going to talk about today?
I have no idea. Just along for the ride. No pun intended.
So I thought that the best way to start off would be...
That billboard.
Are we going to heaven or are we going to hell? Isn't that the question? Apparently I'm going to hell. I can't remember if I've told them that story. Simon, I thought that we would start by me allowing you the opportunity to give your side of hitting the deer.
The deer or the horse?
I'm talking about the deer. We're not talking. Oh, dear God.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're opening the horse story.
Yeah.
No, we did talk about you hitting the deer after we had the conversation over who's a better driver. And then you hit the deer. And then I explained how you didn't listen to my very good advice of towing the car immediately. And then it ended up dying. You're stranded. And oh no.
So what do you want to know?
I don't know. What is your do you have anything that you want everyone to know? Like your side of the story? Because right now everyone knows that I'm a better driver and I wear my seatbelt.
I think a better driver is a relative term considering I drive probably 10 times more than you do. So the fact that I drive 10 times more, I think lends itself to being allowed more accidents. And it's not my fault that we live in bumfuck nowhere and a deer decided it wanted to come kiss the bumper of your car. So...
If I had to guess, though, and actually this wasn't my guess, this was the kids' assumption, and I told them never to say this to you. Yes. When I said, oh, Simon hit a deer, so my car's with Daddy, the first thing out of their mouth, and I told them never to say it to you, was he was on his phone, wasn't he?
I was in a neighborhood. I will not confirm or deny that I may or may not have been looking at my phone.
With the seatbelt off.
With the seatbelt off. I was in the neighborhood doing 30 miles an hour.
That's not the number I heard originally. It was more like 45 is the first number you gave me.
So it might have been 20. I don't remember. The deer really liked the look of your car. Maybe it really liked the look of me and it wanted to come give me a kiss. And it mistimed its jump and jumped in front of your car.
Since you brought it up, this is also the guy who has, in fact, hit a horse.
That horse came running out into the middle of the road as well. And people ask me, how do you hit a horse? And my response is, how do you not hit a horse when a horse comes running at you into the middle of the road? How do you not? I want you to think about that long and hard. If a horse comes running out into the middle of the road, you're going to hit it.
Again, that's one of those instances where I highly doubt the horse just randomly popped on out in front of you. I feel like it was there and you were probably on your phone.
No,
and then
I wasn't. That was back before smartphones were a big thing. I don't even think my phone at the time had GPS on it.
Oh.
But I would also
You're
like
old.
to state, I am old, but I have never, I hit livestock. I have never hit another car or a person.
And he's damaged his car by debris in the highway that he does not notice because he.
That was no.
He's got a story for that one too.
That was a tire that had exploded in the highway, and when it exploded, I ran over the exploded part of the tire. Not a whole lot I can do about that when you're doing 75 down I-20.
I'm hearing a whole lot of I can't do anything about that.
Again, when you drive as much as I do,
you like to say that you have a lot of good luck and that you're purely good luck.
Yeah, but since we got married, my luck has decreased.
What are you trying to say right now?
Just saying. I used to have really, really good luck. And I think your really, really, really bad luck has negated what used to be my really, really good luck.
So am I still good luck to be married to you?
Sometimes that's debatable.
That's rude. Asshole. All right. Let's see. We have not talked about what we wanted to talk about because I wanted it all to just be like fly out of our mouth. So he didn't even know I was going to bring up and give him the opportunity to give his 2 cents on the deer.
Driving blind like Helen Keller. It's amazing.
Maybe we'll make it through this episode. I feel like everyone knows that you officiate weddings because I've been along for the ride and I've made some comments here and there. So for those of you who don't know, my husband officiates wedding. His first one being my best friend Courtney that you guys heard on another episode, Going Through Life with a Bestie. Yeah, he did that wedding. And can I add that you did get the bride, my best friend's name, wrong?
That is a debatable statement because Courtney wanted humor in the wedding, and I will take it to my grave that I may or may not have done that on purpose because Duck and Doug are very, very similar. I would just like to state that for the record. It may or may not have been on purpose.
Do you guys see what I have to work with? Like, there is no arguments. Like, it's just...
Why does everything have to be an argument?
No, not that everything has to be an argument, but it could be like, hey, did you forget to take the trash out today? And you'd be like, did I forget to take the trash out today, or did I decide that you needed your steps?
That is also a very true statement.
No, shut up. But that's like...
Because when you take the trash out, you leave it outside the front door.
Because you're going to do your steps.
I do need my steps. I do need my steps. I will give you that. That is a fair statement.
I stand on my vibrating plate now. Thank you very much.
Vibrating plate. Wonder what other kind of vibrations you get.
Oh, shut up. Ignore that. How long have we been together?
2018, so 6.5, almost 7 years.
Yep, that's coming up in February.
Yep.
What is one thing that you would say has not changed in those 7 years?
One thing that has not changed.
I feel like we both have changed a lot, so I'm just...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that we both have changed a lot. So I'm just curious, is there one thing that you know has not changed in the 7 years?
I think we still have a lot of fun together. I think we still try to travel as much as we can when we can. That's been something that I've always enjoyed about us.
But I have changed on that.
That is true.
You remember how much pushback I used to give you because it would stress me out?
Yep. I remember the first time we went to, well, not the first time, the only time we've been to Switzerland and Italy and taking a 2-week trip, you like broke down and started sobbing for having to request that much time off of work. So I do remember that.
They were kind of mean sometimes.
Yeah.
Not sometimes. They were kind of mean about it. But anyways. Okay. That's fair. What has been your favorite thing that you have seen a change in me?
Honestly, I think the podcasting. I
wasn't expecting that.
No, it's the first time in what I would say is years that I feel like you are passionate about something. Like when you were working at the vet clinic, you used to be like really passionate about that and working with animals and you loved that job. And I think when you went to Pet Suites, like you really loved it at first. And over time, I think you were getting more and more jaded and more frustrated. And taking the time off, having Nora, and then going back and things being so different. Like you were coming home crying all the time because you were so frustrated with stuff. And then even at the clinic that you started running, I don't think you enjoyed that, even though it was your dream job ever since me and you had gotten back together.
No, it was.
And so I like in between, I guess, almost the vet's office that you were at when we got together to doing the podcasting, it would be really hard for me to pinpoint, like if someone were to ask me what you were passionate about, like in something that you really loved doing, I think I would have had a really hard time telling people like what you are passionate about as far as a hobby or work or anything like that. So no, I think I would, no, I don't think I would for sure say the podcasting.
That makes sense. When you put it that way, I too would say it was a very quick and very easy thing for me to say, I'm a vet tech. And like, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I'd be like, what 18-year-old can say that they're doing fucking x-rays on an animal? I can. I'm doing surgeries. I'm like, yeah, I felt like a badass. I was really good at it. And I liked knowing things that the average person wouldn't know. And it made me feel very smart. And then I think that was kind of, not that I know, this was like a thing that I heard a lot when we started getting together, is that everyone knew that my job was my life. And then when we started dating, they were like, your job's not your life anymore. Like now you're thinking about him all the time and like wanting vacations. And it was like that kind of thing. It was, yeah. So, but then I also lived in the like constant trying to survival mode. And so I don't think that I've ever gotten an opportunity to do something that wasn't out of desperation for money.
Makes sense.
Okay, let's see. What's my favorite color?
Your favorite color? I would go with, I don't know the name of it, but like a tealish blue-green.
Okay.
I think that's
like my second, third.
Second, third?
Yeah. Nice try.
Well,
if I'm having a really rough day and you want to bring me something to cheer me up, what is that?
Like, are we talking sweets? Are we talking food? Like,
whatever. When I'm having a sad day, what do you go, oh, this is gonna cheer her up? What do you do?
I come home and I give you a hug. Your literal words yesterday when I said I'm on my way home were, yay, I need a hug. So I would come home and I would give you a hug.
See, it's not about the money.
That is
guys.
True. Sometimes it's just coming home when your wife is sad.
Yes, it is. A nice, warm hug where you melt like cola.
Little things, chocolate. Sometimes you want chocolate.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just food in general, maybe Zaxby's or Chick-fil-A, Dr. Pepper. Sometimes you want a Diet Dr. Pepper, sometimes a ginger ale.
Yeah. Is there anything that you would want to ask me?
Anything that I would want to ask you?
Yeah, since we're recording, what do you want to put me on the spot with? We'll put you on the spot. Be nice. I know where you sleep.
Wow. Okay. What would you say is, and this is going to be a two-part question.
Oh, a two-parter.
What would you say is the part of our marriage that you feel we need to work on the most? And what is the part of our marriage that you feel is the strongest?
Oh, he wants to go deep with you guys. Okay. All right. What was the first half?
What part of our marriage do you feel like is the weakest?
Listening to understand.
Okay. And I can self-admit that I do struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah, but we both do, but I think one of us struggles more than the other.
That would be me. I can admit that.
Fair.
Okay.
All right, what was the second part?
So listening. Well, maybe if you would listen to me, you would remember.
Oh my God!
Just kidding. What part of the marriage do you feel like is the strongest?
Oh, man. We've always said that parenting was our strongest aspect. So is that like a cop-out or like, I need to think of something else?
No, I don't think it's a cop-out, but I think that's a vague answer. So what is it about parenting that you feel like is strong?
When I hear other people that, are we a blended family or not because you didn't have kids before me?
Oh, for sure, I would say we're a blended family.
So we are a blended family. Okay. So usually when I hear other families that are blended talk about their experience.
I do just the listeners know kind of the dynamic of our family.
They have heard the story of you and Andrew crying my hand out of my car at 3:00 in the morning. So
okay.
Yeah, they have a pretty good idea.
Okay. So baseline.
They have a baseline. So, but when I hear other people talking about what it was like to conjoin and bring another parent into the dynamic, I'm always hearing this crazy struggle of, oh, she won't let me parent, or vice versa, or like, I have to make sure they follow her rules when I'm not allowed to set any rules. They disrespect me and there's no, it doesn't ever sound easy when I'm hearing people talk about it. And I won't say that we had it easy, but when I chose to date you, I feel like I chose to accept your judgment. And so if you said to one of the kids, hey, if you do this, this is going to be your punishment, I never would say, oh, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And that was a concern, I guess I would say, like when we first started dating.
I do remember you saying you were worried about how that would go. And I would tell you, like, free roam, like, we'll fill it out.
Yeah, you've really given me a lot of autonomy and a lot of leeway. And I think we have both been on the same page as far as how we're going to parent the kids together. So I would for sure say that's a huge strength of our marriage.
And we don't always agree, because remember when Logan was getting into a lot of trouble like 2 years ago, I guess at this point, a year and a half ago, and we couldn't agree on what the appropriate punishment was. And so we'd call Andrew and be like, talk it out a little bit. Like, are we doing this? Are we doing that? What do we all agree on? And like, you would set some rules that I'd have to come privately though to you and be like, I don't like it. I don't think that's going to work. So we mentioned that when we are having to make like tough parenting decisions together, that we do call Andrew most of the time to get like a 2 cents, because one of the things that Andrew has always said that he believes in and that's important to him is if we make a punishment, he wants to be able to enforce it, and vice versa. If he has to make a punishment, he wants us to enforce it.
Yeah.
How has it been to co-parent with another man?
On the simplest terms, it's been really good. Like, Andrew's always been extremely supportive of our parenting style and whatever punishments we may or may not have to hand down to the kids. Logan's 13 now, and even though we've been together since Logan was 6, Andrew's been with Logan since he was little. And Logan does not always have the easiest time opening up to me during hard conversations. He does tend to shut down. And Andrew has the ability, I think, to get Logan to open up more than I do. Okay. And so from that standpoint, like, I think it has been very good.
What I'm hearing is that you can accept and feel comfortable with knowing that you and another man have the same goal in mind and have different strengths.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think me, you, or Andrew would say we don't want anything for Logan other than to raise him to be respectful and to be kind and to be aware of his surroundings. And
I only ask that because I feel like in most co-parenting situations that maybe kind of gets Would you say that our co-parenting with Andrew happened like
over time?
instantaneously?
No, not instantaneously. I mean, I remember the first time I was at the house when he came to pick up the kids, he like death glared me and walked right by me probably twice. One in the house, one out of the house, and he peeled away in his car.
But that's also, looking back though, like if you were in his
Oh, I'd have been
footsteps,
pissed. There's
and that
no...
was probably you trying to also feel out like, is this guy going to be safe with my kids?
Yeah,
like, you think that's kind of what
my
it was?
end and knowing who I am as a person, like it's really easy for me to sit there and be like, oh, I wouldn't be like that because I'm kind and I'm this, and I like to think I'm understanding, but I think about it with Nora sometimes too. Like if the roles were reversed and I saw another guy with Nora, like I'd be fucking pissed. And so no, like looking back, like I do get it. I understand, but it is also, to your point, like it wasn't built in a day. I think the first time we ever got him to do anything with us was the second year we were together when he met us for Amelia's birthday, I think.
It was a birthday. And then from there, we started sneaking in holidays.
Yep.
And then we started pushing for another holiday.
Well, it was Amelia's birthday. Your parents were in town, I think, looking at houses. And so we met at Mellow Mushroom, and that was the first time he ever met with us. And then, I think it was maybe a meetup at a holiday. And really where it started to change was we talked him into meeting at restaurants to pick up the kids on his weekends. So instead of him coming over and picking up the kids Friday, we've talked him into meeting us for dinner. And we would go out to a Mexican restaurant or Taco Mac or wherever.
Yeah, Andrew, I know you're going to be listening to this. And yes, that was a meditated plan.
To try to get him to spend some time. But no, it did. It took, and to his credit, like he was open and amicable, and I
was willing to try.
Yeah, I mean, he's helped me out with car stuff when I hit the deer. Like, I am not a car person on any kind of level, so he's helped out when we've had some car issues in the past. I'm helping him and his family out through a real estate thing right now. So no, I as a whole, not only just parenting, but trying to make sure each of us takes care of the other as best as we can. It's developed into a what I would say is a solid, good relationship.
Yeah, y'all have even spent time together when I've been out of town.
Yeah.
It's gotten to that point.
Yeah. So he came over when we moved into the new house and hung out with me and Logan, and
yeah.
Yeah.
The point is that the kids liked it to have the normalcy of spending holidays together. So when we started bringing in birthdays and we started having dinner, which those are normal things, and we can start doing that amicably. Thank you. Then that gives them a sense of security, I feel like. And you brought up that if the tables were turned and there was another man with Nora, that you would feel probably the same way and have those same feelings. How does it make you feel? Nora has a bond with Andrew.
Absolutely.
How does that make you feel? Like, does that make you feel any kind?
No, I think it's fantastic. Like, I might not be the best person to ask this to because I've never met my biological dad. I had a dad growing up that was very good to me for the most part and looked after me. But I didn't deal with the same thing that Nora does with Logan and Amelia going to Andrew's every other weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And a big part of our conversation prior to planning on having a baby was my concern of like, how is Nora going to feel when she's 5, 6, 8, 9 years old and Logan and Amelia are going off every other weekend to Andrew's house? Like, how is that going to make her feel isolated?
I brushed that off.
Yo, you majorly brushed that off.
I said that was silly. Like, yeah.
But what I would say is, I think at some point when Nora is old enough, I think Andrew's going to volunteer to take him or take her with him.
Oh, he already did. Remember, we were planning, she was going to go have a sleepover because she didn't want to leave Amelia. And he was like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah. So at some point, like, I fully expect Andrew to take Nora for a night or for 2 nights to hang out with him and Logan and Amelia.
Yeah.
And so
Nora loves Hydrew.
And Hydrew. Yep. Can't say Andrew. It's Hydrew. Hydru and Hadru.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, to me, that's a great thing. The fact that we can co-parent well enough and friendship. I don't know what the right word is for that relationship.
Yeah, it's turned in.
Yeah.
It was a co-parent, but
for a while.
Co-parent, I think you build a friendship.
But it's awesome to me to see Nora love their dad too. Because it would be really awkward if Nora was like, I don't know who you are, dude. Like, stay away. So no, I think that's been a great thing. And that's actually something that I fully look forward to them developing a relationship as she gets older.
It's definitely a sense of pride for me that we all get along so well.
Yeah.
And that we can all take care of the kids together. And sometimes I think that it almost sounds weird, but why does it have to be weird? I feel like that should be the normal that people are striving to meet. It's like we still have boundaries. Boundaries don't get crossed.
Man.
But it's a very respectful thing.
Yeah. Well, it's, I think more than anything, the one big thing me, you, and him could all agree on is we want what's best for the kids. And I think we have all done a phenomenal job of not letting our egos get in the way or letting personalities get in the way. Like, it's always been about trying to do what's best for Logan, Amelia, and Nora. And I think when you put that as the primary objective, everything else tends to fall in place a lot simpler. And I think that shows in the relationship that all the kids have, not only with each other, but with us and all the parents. There's no bit of anything negative from any of them.
So what would your advice be to a friend who is entering into a pre-made family where the biological parents either aren't getting along or, that just, there's no good co-parenting for you to fit into? Like, what, does that make sense? What I'm trying to ask?
It does. I mean, I think I just said it, like keeping your own ego out of it.
But you can't make someone behave. Like, you can't make
No, you
someone.
can't. But that's why I'm saying keep your own ego out of it. Like, if your primary goal is to do what's best for the kid, do what's best for the kid. Keep your own ego out of it. The reason why there's fights and things like that is because people's egos get in the way and they want to do things their way, or they want to do things the way they were taught, or whatever the reason is. It's going to have something to do with an ego. So I would say keep your ego out of it, be patient, and do what's best for the kid. Like, figure out what that looks like between you and your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever that ends up being. Like, have that talk and have that communication of, hey, we feel it's in the kid's best interest of X, Y, and Z. And once you get that figured out, keep your ego out of it and focus on what y'all decided is best for the kids.
Yeah.
Kids are smart at the end of the day. Kids are smart. They're going to realize. I think, weirdly enough, me and you witnessed that just a couple weekends ago at a wedding where the guy was drunk and was trying to take his daughter home, and the daughter didn't want to go because she knew dad was drunk. And so the daughter found another ride to a friend's house. Kids aren't stupid. Like, if at some point, if their parent is doing wrong by them, eventually kids are going to pick up on that.
Yeah, that's true. Well, this was kind of fun and unexpected. I didn't tell you until today that you were doing this with me.
No, you did not. I wouldn't even say today. You told me like 10 minutes before we got in the car.
That is true. How does that make you feel?
Wonderful.
Good. I wish I could say you were the first man on the podcast, but I can't say that.
Who was the first?
Sean.
He was Sean.
He obviously doesn't listen to our episodes, guys. Sean's the father that was very vulnerable and shared.
That's right.
With the five high. Yeah. Any parting words to everyone who already knows most of your life?
Oh, man. Hopefully not most of my life. Hopefully there's some things that have kept private, but
ooh, what kind of things?
Oh, I'm not going there. Not tonight. that can be for another time.
Okay, I'll fish it out. We'll fish it out.
You will do your best.
Oh, they'll know.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's all that we have for you guys tonight. That was pretty much our whole ride home from dinner. And that was fun. Thanks for doing it with me, babe.
You're welcome.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
If you liked what you heard today, hit that like button, or the subscribe button, or whatever button it is that you have.
Just hit it. To continue this conversation with us, join the Skirts Up Show on what is it again?
Well, we have Facebook, we have YouTube,
And Pinterest.
and no, we do not have a Pinterest, but we have Instagram.
You knew what I meant.
Rate and review.
Rate and review.